Good morning, everyone. My name is Teresa Conroy-Roth, and you are watching the latest episode of Lightning Leadership. With me today, third timer, so excited. Jason, it's your third time, is Jason J.D. Duigou. Jason, thank you so much for joining the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Teresa.
Now, today we're going to talk about something I think that's incredibly timely. With 2026 just on the horizon, let's talk about the ways that CIOs can spark innovation in 2026.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of different leadership styles, and right now, businesses just need CIOs to step up. And so the tagline I've cut into the chase is, hey, at its best, the CIO role isn't about running IT. We're not order takers. It's about enabling what's next for the business, not just what you have. So to get there, step one is be a translator between technology and business outcomes. This is a big one. Too often IT get into the dredges of acronym city, and CIOs, you don't lead with tools, you lead with impact. So we want to connect those emerging technologies to business revenue, customer experience, reducing risk in some way, or scaling operations. So that's a big one. That's for CIOs.
Good deal.
Go ahead.
No, please do.
Okay. Then the second one is around keeping one foot in today with one eye firmly in the future. CIOs need to really add value at the C-suite by balancing, what's operational excellence look like, but also being future ready. This is my analogy of in the freeway ramp waiting for the traffic to clear. The traffic's never going to clear. You got to figure out when you're going to get on to that on-ramp to really jump in and modernize things, modernize platforms, continuously improve things. How can we accelerate business growth via strategy to be ready for tomorrow? And then the third one is around surfacing possibilities that the business hasn't even imagined yet. And I love this. It's really around, it's one of our biggest contributions as a CIO is bringing ideas to the table where others really don't see that, right? And I used to, my analogy was the business is focused on version 1.1, 1.2, and I'm trying to say, hey, there's version 3 to get to version 5, because at some point version 10 is going to come out, right? So we really need to get them thinking about the data-driven sciences, automation opportunities, entirely new business models, digital products that are all enabled by technology. So that's a huge one.
So much of, I think, is communication,
Absolutely.
Right? And so much of is helping them to find out what's in it for them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because you could present the ideas, but you really want them to buy into it.
Yep.
Right? And so I think that's whether it's knowing your board, whether or not it's knowing your peers, how to present, right, the not only the existing, but also the future state.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. So number 4 is turn innovation into execution. So it's not just experimentation. So you need to not just chase shiny objects. It's really around disciplined pilots. How can you learn fast, fail fast, but also scaling in areas that will take advantage of that. It's always got to be tied to clear business goals and measurable outcomes. Too often folks get all excited, back to that shiny object syndrome, because everybody's doing it. Well, we don't want to fear missing out, or we've got to do this next thing. Well, how is that going to move the needle? I always talked about that with my team. How are we moving the needle forward? Is it making it 10% better? Is it saving somebody 20 minutes a day? What's that measurable outcome that we can look at that innovation for?
Yeah.
Then number 5 is automate the noise to unlock strategic capacity. And so what I mean by that is we're going to streamline processes. We want to automate manual work, right? We're going to elevate that human experience, not just to do the day-to-day export, import kind of stuff. But CIOs, the mission is really to free teams from that constant firefighting. Folks get so drained every day mentally around those just firefighting battles, right? So how do we reclaim that time that fuels higher value work, right? We want to focus on innovation. We've got to focus on customer service and from that customer perspective, and the continuous improvement, not just the day-to-day ongoing.
Yeah, I think that firefighting is so often, right, the norm and not the not the extreme, right? And so I think you get into patterns of that, but helping your people and helping the business, right? Because that's what it ultimately comes down to. Find ways to get into the future state, get way into the innovation, allowing the time for collaboration, right, is absolutely critical.
Yeah, absolutely. And then number 6 is really around building ecosystems, not just systems. And I was a big proponent of this. I have a lot of different ways I present this to business stakeholders. Is, modern CIOs need to think of as beyond just an internal IT partner. How do you partner and vendors and platforms and APIs? How do they all play a role in this fast-moving ecosystem? We got to deliver capabilities the business can't build alone. So I used to draw a lot of concentric circles of how well this fits into this piece, and this is how it integrates. The old school method is build your vertical platform, right? And that has a brick wall between the next vertical platform. We've got some integrations, but that's not really that ecosystem. So how do we even hide the systems from the end users, right? They don't need to know they went to 3 different systems to do something. It's that day-to-day, hey, I'm going through a workflow. How do we make that agnostic to them? So that's that ecosystem concept.
Awesome.
And then finally, number 7 is leading with trust. Is super important. You got to be curious. You got to be adaptable. So technology is moving so fast, right?
It is.
But people move progress. So how is a CIO going to foster learning, kind of foster psychological safety, cross-functional collaboration, creating organizations that can adapt as technology evolves? That's the true, really gold star CIO, if they really can help with that. It's not just about, again, back to that order taker. It's how can I really, really be a trusted advisor to the C-suite, to the VPs, to the board of directors. So.
Yeah. And so with that, I think comes, credibility, comes trust, reliability, right? Intimacy. It's understanding the business, communicating the challenges, and then helping solve the challenges, right?
Absolutely.
And again, trying to create that vision. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? The old saying, right? Yep. But it does take those key moments with not only establishing the trust with the people above you, but establishing the trust with the folks that you are serving.
Yep,
so that you can take some of that low-hanging fruit, help them solve the problem, help them win, right? And then ultimately take the business to the next level.
Yeah, because you want to be in the room where it happens, like the Hamilton says, and you want to be that trusted advisor, whether it's a hallway conversation or a quick spin up of a call, or you want to be, the CIO wants to be the phone a friend. Hey, we heard about this. How can we get IT at the table to help with that business strategy? Absolutely.
That's perfect. JD, thank you so much for coming on. I love our calls. I love our conversations. So I really do appreciate your insights. For more information on JD or to continue the conversation, please reach out to him on LinkedIn. And with that, I will say thank you again.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. And thanks, Teresa.